the countryside came to London today for a rally by thousands of farmers against the government's inheritance tax.
Nearly 15,000 farmers have risen up. 37% of the streets are paralyzed by tractors. 71,000 farms are under threat of ruin. This is not an ordinary protest. Usually, police defend themselves with shields, but tractors are impossible to stop. At 9:20 a.m., the No Farmers, No Food group issued a threat. If Starmer does not back down, this will be the biggest uprising in British history. Despite this, Karma gave the green light to legally rob farmers of £300 million. At 9:45, the London police immediately declared that every farmer participating in the blockade of Parliament would face a year in prison. The protesters simply didn't care. By 10:05, 5 columns of tractors had besieged Parliament Square. Starr was branded the worst PM in entire British history. He and the Chancellor promised not to touch the farmers. A year later, they're imposing a 20% tax directly on them. For 500 years, a son could inherit a farm from his father without paying a penny. Now, he must pay £400,000 the moment his father dies. Starmer offers only cold comfort. We made an exception for farmers. We could have taken 40%. It was a spit in their face. Within 15 minutes, the tractors threatened to dump 20 tons of manure directly through the windows of the Parliament session. Police radios crackled with panic. We can't stop them. Our vans simply are not holding these monsters. Analysts estimated the cost. Every minute of this government district siege is costing $2-3 million. Entries and exits were sealed. The police simply have nothing to counter. 1,800 tractors. Suddenly, a captionless video dropped on TikTok. It showed columns of armored vehicles rolling down a public highway. A single comment, "They are deploying the army," racked up 7.1 million likes in just 3 hours. Officials claimed it was merely a routine logistical transport operation. Then another clip of the hardware surfaced. The protesters no longer believed a single word. In retaliation, tractors shut down 3 major arteries into London. The threat of empty supermarket shelves within 2 days became real. For Starr, the farmers are a bone stuck in his throat. 500,000 rural voters traditionally despise Labour. On principle, every election they cast their ballots for the Conservatives. That is why during the election, Karma promised, "Farmers are our big friends. We will not touch your tax reliefs." Upon seizing power, the government performed a complete 180-degree U-turn, stabbing the farmers directly in the back. By then, thousands had joined the ranks. They screamed, "We won't surrender our land to Starr. Lock us up. We don't give a damn." The media's response, they branded them extremist groups. "You are robbing the people who feed Britain." Supposedly, to plug the budget gap, yet simultaneously, you find £8 million a day to fund hotels for migrants. Tractor drivers outside Parliament accused Starr of staggering hypocrisy, prioritizing new arrivals over farmers. Opposition leader Nigel Farage noted, "Every day farmers deliver tons of produce to the shelves." But what does an illegal migrant living in a 3-star hotel funded by these very farmers' taxes actually do for us? In 5 hours, tanks were spotted on the streets of London aligned with the protesters. According to insiders, internal MI5 channels were left asking, where did they even get the tanks? One union leader delivered the ultimate threat to Stara. "We give you 10 hours. If you do not back down, tractor drivers from France will blockade the Channel Tunnel from the continent." Critics issued a brutal warning. 26% of all trade flows through the Channel Tunnel. If tractors from both sides unite, it means a loss of £350 million a day. In such a scenario, even if Starmer cancels the tax, it may not save him from guaranteed removal from office. This could spiral from a national emergency into a massive pan-European crisis. A theoretical blockade of the tunnel is no longer a joke. Diplomats in Brussels are weighing scenarios to pressure Dharma. Give the farmers whatever they want. This could end badly for all of Europe. Karma has remained silent for 7 hours. Rumors suggest he was told the tractor drivers would eventually just go back to work on their farms. By that moment, another 23 columns were approaching from central England. Suddenly, the opposition exposed Starmer's true motives. The Prime Minister and Chancellor keep hiding behind a fiscal black hole. Yet, the revenue squeezed from these farms amounts to barely zero. 6% of the £22 billion deficit. The House of Commons erupted in applause. Starmer continued to face total humiliation, accused of a calculated land grab designed to bankrupt family farms and blanket thousands of acres in solar panels just so he can boast at the next climate summit. Meanwhile, the state is burning through £2 billion a year just to house migrants in hotels. Thousands of illegal arrivals are landing on the beaches every single week. There is literally no room left in the cities or the hospitality sector. Nigel Farage delivered a scathing exposure of the endgame. The cities are full. They need the land from bankrupt farms to build thousands of social housing units for the new arrivals. The most terrifying and hypocritical reality is that this entire replacement strategy is being funded by the very people Starr is trying to strangle, the farmers. The government dismisses this as a baseless conspiracy, but the mathematics speak for themselves. Analysts project that Britain faces an influx of 1.5 million new arrivals next year alone. This is a demographic shift where 3 to 4 children per family is the norm. The numbers are staggering. These are the populations has pledged to house under the banner of tolerance. With the hotel system completely saturated, the government is already looking at military bases. And now no one can rule out the terrifying reality that the land stripped from British farmers will be used to build the next generation of migrant townships. The opposition is now screaming the quiet part out loud. This isn't just about balancing a budget. It is about engineering a permanent majority. Starmer has publicly demanded a decade in power to realize all the plans. He claims he needs 9 years to fix the country. Critics argue he needs 9 years to replace the electorate.
Look at the timeline.
A farmer is bankrupt by April 2026. His land is sold by 2027. A migrant arrives on a boat today. He gets a hotel tonight. He gets a passport in 5 years. By the time Starmer runs for a second term, the demographics of the swing seats will be unrecognizable. The conservative heartlands in the Midlands are being targeted for.